You know how to navigate risk. Let's say you got the great education, or you hustled your way into a lucrative industry, got the help you needed to get where you are. Now let's talk about the real risk. Staying in a role that drains you while telling yourself that you'll figure it out. Over 85% of people approaching retirement say they wish they had lived their life on their own terms. And according to Gallup, about 60% of people are detached at work. So here's the truth. Corporate stability is a myth, while layoffs and downsizing, restructuring is at an all-time high. People are risking their health and their integrity, all while still feeling like they can't afford the life that they actually want. But here's the opportunity. Starting a business is not about quitting your job tomorrow. It's about building clarity, confidence, and more options that you actually control. A side business while you're still working your 9 to 5 is how you build confidence as well as build the business acumen that you need before taking a leap. Because no one regrets building something that gives them freedom. They regret waiting. So if you're currently working your 9 to 5, but deep down you know that there's something more that you want, this is the video for you. I'm walking you through a few side hustle strategies that took me and others from being a burnt out, overworked employee to a fulfilled founder. Let's get into it. Let's start by setting expectations. Most side businesses don't start with a big bang. We need to all be clear about that. They start with a whisper. There's a combination of feeling that tightness in your job, like you're outgrowing it. You're great at what you do, but it's just not feeling like enough. You're ready to venture out when you hear the whisper of wanting more impact, more income, or more time to live. And you're not trying to quit your job on vibes alone. I'm Ayana, your product launch plug, and I know that you want a smart path forward. One where your business not only has a chance to grow, but it has a chance to actually be the key to your freedom. If we can understand that in any founder journey, you have to lead into the power of incremental progress and not expect an overnight success, then we can work together on this. An overnight success is not a thing anyway. If we're on the same page about that, you're ready to hear what I'm going to tell you next about what it really takes to start a side business while you're in your 9 to 5. Here's how I did it, and you can do it too. I call this the dual life framework. Because you don't just quit your job and go, you need to build yourself into it. You gotta work while you build. And your scheduling is gonna be everything. This is where it starts. Let's go through a full day schedule. From 5 a.m. to 9 a.m., this is gonna be your power window. And this is not because I'm a morning person. I'm not at all. I have never been a morning person. I've become somebody who values the morning hours. This 5 a.m. to 9 a.m. window allows you to guarantee that you accomplish something for yourself or your business before everyone else pulls at you. It was a way that I would guarantee that I did something that fed me for the day. So from 5 a.m. to 7 a.m., I would focus on building both mental and physical toughness. So I either read something strategic, maybe it was something in business or mindset coaching, something would help me on the particular concept I was working on, and try to even make a plan for how I was gonna apply that learning. I planned my priorities for the week. I would write content. And sometimes I would just kind of focus on getting my body moving, kind of just like getting myself into the mode of being ready to continue on this journey is what I mean by physical toughness. I got to say, this whole early morning schedule concept wasn't about hustle. It was about alignment. Like I really had to force myself out of this employee mindset where I would get up every day and only be focused on getting to work. Instead, I was getting up every day focused on getting to be in that 5 a.m. to 9 a.m. slot. It was a way of retraining myself to be set up to win versus set up to survive the week. Then 7 a.m. to 9 a.m. is real life, right? Preparing for work, perhaps you have kids or family things to take care of. That's that time period where you do the normal stuff of getting ready to get out the door and actually getting to your desk. Now we're at the 9 a.m. to 5 a.m. I did my job and did all of my jobs very well, and I'm sure you do too. But I just simply made a choice to stop overworking. My 9 to 5 was functioning to fund my dream, not replace it. So I set clear boundaries, stopped over delivering, and making sure that my energy was always an asset to me for my business in the future that I wanted for myself. And also, to be clear, in this new mindset, I also realized that my 9 to 5 didn't take 40 hours to do, right? When I really focused on what is it that I need to do to meet my KPIs, to meet my goals, I got super smart about my schedule and super savvy about tools like scheduling emails, recurring calendar blocks, just anything to make sure I can handle everything that needs to be done in a particular day or particular week and still be able to prioritize my business and my future. It's a bit of a balance. And that balance requires not overworking, doing what you need to do your job well, and that's it. Now, 5 p.m. to 9 p.m. was an execution block most days. So evenings are where the magic really happens. I created offers, I tested messaging, I would build something to test it out. And now on Fridays, I started what I call Future Fridays. Some of you who have been following me for a while have heard me talk about Future Fridays. This is where I would deep dive into one problem, or again, I would just spend even more time learning a particular concept and applying it to the thing I was working on at the time. And again, I'm a night person, not a morning person. So sometimes I would stay up all night learning something. I would really let myself get super deep into a rabbit hole and then applying it. Now remember, this was all before AI, before ChatGPT. So I was writing my website word for word myself, Googling my way through marketing funnels, kind of really truly figuring it out. So it's not crazy to think that I would stay up all night sometimes on a Friday night. My thought process was, if I could stay up and go to the club until 3, 4 a.m., I could stay up and work on my business and my future until 4 a.m. What I want you to really get about this 5 a.m. until schedule is pretty simple. The key is to not wing it. Why are you winging your dream? You have to schedule it. You have to really be intentional about looking about your current life and how you're gonna make time for your future like your life depended on it, because it does. The future version of you is depending on your choices in the present. Now let's talk financial frameworks. Let's talk money, because without this, you're burning out. Every side business needs some kind of launch budget. Even if it's a small one, even if it's something you just want to try out and see where it goes, take some time to think about how you're going to create this pie. Here's how you want to think about this. The first part of the pie is business setup. So this is things like your domain, maybe you need a Canva subscription, a newsletter subscription, an email software. For instance, you might want to use Typeform if you want a fancy survey, but you also could use Google, right? There's always all these alternatives out there for how you can be able to reach people, but just consider what you want as your business setup and what you want to allocate to that part of this budget. And then number 2, there's offer creation. Whatever you're selling, whether it's digital or physical, is probably going to have some costs associated into building a prototype, building something that you can put in front of people and ask them about their feedback, ask them for their preferences. That is going to be a part of your early journey here in any side business. What is it going to cost for you to build some version of the thing? And then we've got marketing tools. You guys know how I feel about marketing. I don't want you to be focused on marketing and branding before you have a business. However, it is something to consider in your launch budget. Again, there's levels to how you do this. Please emphasize the word basic landing page and basic payment processing and basic content apps. Don't want to overspend in marketing, but you do want to consider it in the budget so it's not out of mind, out of sight. The last part of the pie is reinvestment. So keeping a percentage of every sale that's dedicated to the future growth of your business. And again, doesn't need to be super sophisticated, but just allocate something inside of your budget that's going to be, yes, I might make X $100 in this particular side hustle this month, but a percentage of that needs to go into your growth so you can continue to build this out while you're in your 9 to 5. The point here is having a launch budget is a mindset shift, right? You're not hoping to start a business. You're not hoping to leave your job. You're actually funding your exit with your 9 to 5. And this exercise of building this budget from what you're earning from your 9 to 5 is part of that shift. Part of you actually building like you're going to be leaving. The next thing you want to be doing as you're building out your side business while you're at your 9 to 5 is clarifying your messaging. The one reason why businesses fail, confusion. Whether you're confused as the founder about what's important or customers are confused about what you're selling them and why. Sometimes it sucks to realize that, but if people don't understand what you do, they just won't buy. So let's get clear about that while you are engaging in this venture as a side business. We want to know, who is it for? What are you helping them do, accomplish, or become? And what is the result, right? Being really clear about those 3 things. Who is it for? What do you do to help people and what is the result or the transformation. You've heard me say, make sure that you're communicating the transformation and what somebody becomes by having access to your particular product or service. These are the 3 key things you want to focus on when it comes to messaging while you're in a side business. So for example, if somebody asks you, what are you working on? Saying, I make natural organic skincare isn't enough. Instead, you want to be super specific. Like, I empower teens to feel beautiful in their changing skin in just 6 months. Super specific. It's clear, it sells, and if you need help in this particular area, download the Smart Start checklist. It's in the description below. It'll help you walk through how to validate your idea and in particular, clarify that message. Now, the last thing I want to tell you is why this schedule, this budget, and this messaging mission works. And it's simply because I didn't wake up one day and just feel ready. I had built the business in the in-between moments. I had gone through a lot of the churning and a lot of the deciding while having the safety net of a 9-to-5. And you can do that too. Building happens in the quiet moments, in the tired nights. Because I built while I was still working, I had space to test, refine, and grow without all the pressure. And so by the time I left corporate, I wasn't scared. I was ready. I had kind of moved through all of those kinks and it made it less scary that I had to leave my 9-to-5. That's what I want for you. Not just a cute brand, not just a little bit more income, but the confidence to know that your business can actually work. If this helped you at all, please leave a comment below and let me know which part hit the hardest. And if you're building your business right now, check out my Kitchen Counter CEO Playbook. It's a system of all these foundational things to help you make sure that you're building your business the right way from the start. Subscribe for more breakdowns like this. I'm Ayana, your product launch plug. I helped billion-dollar businesses launch new ideas into best-selling products, and now I'm helping you do the same.